Chief of the Air Staff, distinguished senior officers, my lords, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to the 2020 Royal Air Force Benevolent Fund Awards, and thank you to the Queen's Colour Squadron for that wonderful light show countdown. My name is Alan Dedicoat, and if you have a sense of déjà vu at the moment, we already have something in common. For my sins, I'm the National Lottery's voice of the balls and the voice of Strictly Come Dancing. It's my pleasure to be your host for this very special and slightly different evening. Under normal circumstances, we'd all be celebrating the achievements of the Fund's fantastic supporters in a wonderful venue somewhere. Indeed, we're sorry not to be able to present our winners with their awards face-to-face and congratulate them on their efforts, but we felt it was important to still be able to acknowledge all of their work. This is our first virtual award ceremony and it's live, so please do bear with us if we have any technical issues tonight. They'll probably be involving me somewhere along the line. I am to technology what Gracie Fields was to spot welding. I hope you've all had a chance to chat with your fellow virtual guests and check out the details of our generous sponsors. If you haven't, it'll all be accessible after the ceremony. And whilst you're watching, do get involved by using the hashtag RAF BF Awards across our social media channels to share photos of you celebrating these awards. That would be great to see those. We'll be showcasing the best of them on the screen throughout tonight. Now, this ceremony celebrates all that was achieved during 2019. Can anyone remember that far back? This year seems to be going on forever, but 2019 was the RAF Benevolent Fund's centenary year. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of that special year. Well, I think we can all agree 2019 was quite a year, wasn't it? At the heart of all the activity for the Fund in that year was the delivery of welfare services. Last year, the RAF Benevolent Fund spent more than £28.2 million, helping 70,000 members of the RAF family in their time of need. That's an additional £7.3 million spent helping a further 17,000 more people in the Fund's centenary year. In order to carry out its work, the charity needs people on the ground to identify those who are in need of help and to carry out the complex welfare casework to ensure that they get the right support. And during this process, the Fund works closely with its sister charities, the Royal Air Forces Association, the Royal British Legion and SAFA. The first award tonight recognises the expertise and diligence that caseworkers bring to their job. Oh, and just to let you know how this will work tonight, we'll show a film featuring the shortlist for each category. And thank you to everyone for helping us generate the content for those, by the way. I'll then hand over to the presenter of each award to announce the winner, the winner will then have a chance to say a few words to us, which I'm really looking forward to. So do give all the winners a round of virtual applause, if you would. And winners, don't worry, you will still get your trophies. They'll be winging their way to you very, very soon. Right. Let's see how this goes, shall we, with our Welfare Caseworker of the Year Award.
Our welfare work is at the heart of what we do. Last year we supported more than 71,000 beneficiaries, from youth support and serving RAF personnel to dependents and veterans. We work hard to make sure no member of the RAF family faces adversity alone. We couldn't do what we do without the support of our sister charities and their caseworkers. This award recognises those who have gone the extra mile for our beneficiaries. Nigel Andrews, Michael Maidment, and Michael Morrison.
Well, that's a great start to our ceremony, isn't it? Our 3 shortlisted nominees have done some fantastic work on behalf of the Fund's beneficiaries and alongside colleagues from the Fund's sister organisations. Now, to announce the worthy winner, I'd like to introduce Paul Cushion, Managing Director of Midshire's Mobility Group, who have very generously sponsored this award. So, Paul, it's over to you.
Hello, everyone. May I say how pleased I am that Way was found to present the RAF BF Awards night. It gives Midshires an unbroken line of sponsorship of the Caseworker of the Year award, one which is particularly close to our hearts as we work on a daily basis with these frontline heroes who are the face of the Royal Air Force Benevolent Fund to most of the beneficiaries we help. Without them, our job would be so much harder, and it is so fitting that tonight they are in the spotlight receiving some of the well-earned recognition for all of their hard work. That said, it is my announced Caseworker of the Award. And the winner is Michael Maidment.
I am honoured to be nominated as the Royal Air Force Benevolent Fund Caseworker of 2020 and to receive the award. I was surprised to be nominated and would like to thank Andy Ingham, the SAFA Lincolnshire Branch Chairman, who nominated me. I'm one of many SAFA caseworkers who offer their time and support to assist service personnel, veterans and their dependents. To be selected from these dedicated people is a wonderful surprise. I also enjoy working with the Royal Air Force Benevolent Fund, and I thank you for this award.
Excellent. Well done, Michael. Our next award this evening celebrates those who've worked so hard to make one of the charity's flagship projects such a success. Airplay is what we're talking, ladies and gentlemen. Airplay provides childcare centres, play parks and youth support programmes for the children of serving RAF personnel. They're growing up on RAF stations, in other words. Youth workers play an integral role in the programme, ensuring that the young people are listened to and, more importantly, understood. It can be tough growing up on an RAF station, and youth workers come up with a programme of activities throughout the year to keep children entertained and engaged. Let's see who's been nominated.
Airplay is our flagship programme for young people growing up on RAF stations. We launched it more than 10 years ago and we've seen the positive impact that this has had on friendships and well-being. We've continued to evolve the programme over the years to meet current needs, and most recently we launched Airplay Connect, a digital platform. However, at the very heart of Airplay are the youth workers who work tirelessly to engage and encourage, and they make a real difference to the lives of the young people. And those shortlisted are Jeanette Bickerton, RAF Scampton.
I would be proud to win this award because it would mean that what we do at Scampton has been positively recognised and is valued.
Jessica Nugent, RAF Coningsby.
To be nominated is amazing. It's not just me that should be thankful for this. My staff team are incredible, and the young people themselves. I wouldn't be nominated if it wasn't for them.
Emma Pallant, RAF Benson and RAF Bryce Norton.
I'm proud to be nominated for this award, but more so I'm proud of the staff teams and young people that make airplay so special at Benson and Bryce.
Well, some brilliant work there by the passionate airplay youth workers. We met Jeanette Bickerton of RAF Scampton, who delivered wide-range activities, including a mental health session called Chat with Airplay. Jessica Nugent of RAF Coningsby, who revived the RAF Coningsby Airplay Youth Forum. And Emma Pallant of RAF Benson and RAF Bryce Norton, who delivered a variety of activities to support young people to develop their independence. To announce the Airplay Youth Worker of the Year for 2019, let me introduce our next kind sponsor. It's Anne Parkin, Key Account Manager at Proludic Play and Sports Areas Limited.
We're delighted to be sponsoring the Airplay Youth Worker of the Year Award for the second year running. At Proludic, we design beautiful and unique play parks for children and their families. We support the work of the RAF Benevolent Fund because it's a charity close to our hearts. And for the last 11 years, we've worked together to create play parks for RAF stations across the UK for the benefit of children and their families. We're amazed by the efforts of those shortlisted for the Airplay Youth Worker of the Year.
Great work, Jessica. Now, before we move on, don't forget to keep tweeting, if you would, the hashtag RAFBF Awards. Let us know where you're joining us from tonight, how you're celebrating, and why not share your congratulations with the winners so far? That would be a great thing to do. Next up is a category that reflects the range of support we receive from younger members of the RAF family, the Air Training Corps and University Air Squadrons right across the country. They play an important role on behalf of the fund, ranging from organising their own events to supporting fund-arranged ones, come rain or shine, and always with a smile. Let's see what activities they took on in 2019.
Support from the Air Training Corps and the University Air Squadrons has gone from strength to strength over the last year. The Air Training Corps and the University Air Squadrons are not only the future of the Royal Air Force, but the family that we both support and rely upon for support. These are from mass running events, cycle rides, bucket collections and sponsored walks. Let's see who's made the shortlist. Bristol University Air Squadron, Oxford University Air Squadron,
We chose to support the RAF Benevolent Fund because they're such a worthwhile charity and they offer such a range of support which is widely used by the RAF community.
and Yorkshire University Air Squadron.
Yorkshire University Air Squadron thanks you for your nomination and looks forward to continue to support the Benevolent Fund in years to come. Thank you.
University Air Squadrons were certainly busy in 2019, weren't they? Bristol University Air Squadron organised their own 100k bike ride. Oxford University Air Squadron took part in the Reading Half Marathon and a 10k around London. And the Yorkshire University Air Squadron organised a 50-hour non-stop cycle and rowing challenge, would you believe? Well, to tell us which one is the University Air Squadron of the Year, please welcome Dave Appleby now, Director, Marketing and Sales, Electronics UK Leonardo, our generous sponsors of this category.
Good evening. Leonardo is very pleased to present this award tonight. It's great to hear that the University Air Squadrons are supporting the RAF Benevolent Fund so much, and they are the next foundation for the next generation Air Force. It gives me great pleasure tonight to announce the 2020 winners are Bristol University Air Squadron. Well done.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Leonardo, for sponsoring that award. And Chief of the Air Staff, my lords, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the recognition. Thank you to my staff, but especially thank you to the students, the APOs and officer cadets of Bristol University Air Squadron. This award is in recognition of their significant efforts and their time that they put into supporting the RAF Benevolent Fund, both raising funds and indeed raising awareness in the Benevolent Fund's 100th year. They've cycled, as Alan mentioned there, the 100k bike ride. They've run, even dressed as Ben Elephant in the Bristol Half Marathon. They've run dog agility rings as well, and that was a great way of bringing awareness to the RAFBF. And all in 2019, they've always wanted to support the RAFBF in whatever endeavours they possibly can. But we're not unique in that. You know, the same opportunities, the same endeavour has been achieved by our fellow nominees. So all at Bristol University Air Squadron just want to wish the positive thoughts and well done to both Oxford and Yorkshire University Air Squadrons as our fellow nominees. Particular thanks go to APO Francesca Kennard-Kettle, who ran the charity side of the house in 2019 and then handed over to Officer Cadet Tara Crease, who's continued in those endeavours. But also thanks to Charlotte Barnby of the RAF Benevolent Fund for her support in everything that we've done to help the RAF Benevolent Fund over the past few years. And thank you to the RAF Benevolent Fund, really, for recognising the efforts of Bristol University Air Squadron.
Well, there's a happy man, if ever I saw one. Squadron Leader Simon Brewis, Bristol University Air Squadron. Congratulations to all of you. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, 3 awards in, and we've already seen some extraordinary support from across the nations, really, which is always good to hear about. And just to remind you of what this support helps the RAF Benevolent Fund to achieve, we'd like to share with you now the story of the Browns family.
I want to say the world stops, but it doesn't. I can't describe it. There aren't words. And I was doing what I'm doing now, trying not to cry, and I was saying, oh, it's okay, in this trying not to cry, and the consultant just said, she said it's not okay. Nobody should ever have to hear that their child's got cancer.
Any child who's diagnosed, their parents go through a massive upheaval. The NHS recommended that we went for proton beam radiotherapy in the United States. So we were out in the States for 9 to 10 weeks. The NHS funded the treatment and found us a hotel and a hire car, but the rest was up to us. And it was during that stage that the Benevolent Fund really helped, not just the way we were doing our life, living our life, but also I very much firmly believe Caroline's recovery. Without the money from the Benevolent Fund, we would have been able to survive, but it turned into a source for us of finding activities for Caroline that we wouldn't have otherwise have done.
Well, we went to an indoor skydiving centre and did that. On one of the days we went to, I think it was a reserve, and we went to see the buffalo, and that actually I ended up leaving Otto there. But that was fun, I enjoyed that.
That sounds a really weird thing to do when your child's got cancer, but her treatment's been incredibly successful. We didn't know that. There were times in America where she was absolutely at her worst, and I thought that was it. And so we absolutely made the most of every second that we could. We received incredible benefit from the grant from the Benevolent Fund. It just immediately felt like there was a huge security blanket. If anything went wrong, if we needed something extra financially, we just knew that that was all covered and we wouldn't have to worry. It was quite overwhelming, actually, to know that that support was there. And from just personally, I can't thank the Royal Air Force Benevolent Fund enough, and I know that, you know, Michael and Caroline, we all benefited incredibly from it.
I would like to say a massive thank you from me and Otto to the RAF Benevolent Fund. Thank you.
You know, it's because of everyone watching tonight that the fund is able to deliver support when it's needed to families like the Browns. So a really heartfelt thank you. In 2019, the fund was able to help thousands of extra beneficiaries, and they're committed to sustaining that support for as long as it is needed. This year, the fund is seeing an increase in demand across many of its services, supporting those experiencing increased social isolation and loneliness, struggles with their mental health and well-being, and financial difficulty as well. If you'd like to do more to help, you can donate £5 to the fund by texting Awards 5 to 70460, 70460, or add any amount from £1 to £20 after the word awards to choose your donation amount. It really is as simple as that. OK, we move on now, ladies and gentlemen, to the RAF Stations Challenge Cup. This award is presented to the station, which has raised the most money per head through sporting events alone. Last year, the fund spent £7.2 million supporting our serving personnel. So it's great that individuals want to get involved and raise money for the fund. All stations, no matter what their size, have an equal chance of winning this award. Let's find out what sporting activities our nominees took on during the fund's centenary year.
Sports and fitness are a huge part of RAF station life. This award recognises those sporting endeavours that have also raised money for the fund. To even the playing field, the award is based on the amount raised pro rata per station, so even the so-called smaller stations have a chance against their bigger siblings. And those shortlisted are MOD Abbey Wood, RAF Cranwell, and RAF Spade Adam.
Whew. Well, I don't know about you, but I feel exhausted just watching all that running. Between them, the stations took part in the Bristol Half Marathon, the Sleaford Half Marathon, the Woodhall Spa 10K, Cranwell 10K, the 100 Miles for 100 Years Virtual Challenge, and the RAF Benevolent Fund RAF Spade Adam Half Marathon. To let us know which station is the winner, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Air Vice Marshal Michael Harwood from the Military Mutual, generous sponsors of this award.
Well, good evening, everyone. So I've got a very exciting envelope. Now, there we think it's called the RAF Stations and MOD Abbey Wood. Well, well done to you, because the Royal Air Force people there getting the Ben Fund on the map in this vast place that uses £10 billion every year doing awesome stuff for equipment and support. And you've got the RAF's name on the map, the Benevolent Fund's name on the map. Well done to you. Cranwell, home of the Royal Air Force, where we all go through initial training and flying training and things like that. And then RAF Spade Adam. Have you heard of that even? Up there somewhere near Carlisle and Newcastle. So here, let's get this ready to go. Someone is going to be a winner. And I'd just like to say that you need to take a bow. Dun, dun, dun. And who's it going to be? Well, it's the place where I was able to rush around like this and be better in combat thanks to their help. And that is Royal Air Force Spade Adam, winners.
What a wonderful surprise. Royal Air Force Spade Adam is a large station by area, but with only 190 personnel, we had to think of innovative ways to support the Benevolent Fund. We've supported them, and they have supported us magnificently in the time. It's a huge honour to be awarded the Challenge Cup, and on behalf of the whole Force team at RAF Spade Adam, including Jez and Heidi, who have joined us virtually, I thank all of you for awarding us this prestigious Challenge Cup. Thank you.
Brilliant. Group Captain Matt Lawrence there of RAF Spade Adam, and good to see the Air Vice Marshal playing with his toys, wasn't it? It's great, in fact, to see one of the stations which doesn't traditionally get as much attention winning this year. Now, how's everybody doing? How's it going so far, ladies and gentlemen? Time for a drinks top-up yet? Might be for me any minute now, to be honest. Our next award has the prestigious Silver Hawk Trophy at stake. It's fundraising team of the year time, folks. It honours the commitment of our volunteer fundraisers to the wider RAF family. Our 3 shortlisted fundraising teams have tirelessly committed hundreds of hours between them, giving back to the fund and raising vital funds to support our beneficiaries. And here they are.
Fundraising Team of the Year is always one of the most difficult awards of the night to shortlist, let alone decide a winner. Throughout the year, we've seen huge amounts of support from teams across the UK and beyond, whether undertaking sporting challenges or holding unique and unforgettable events. We are so grateful for the tens of thousands of pounds these teams have raised to support the RAF family. And those shortlisted are Broomhall 2019.
My passion as I've grown up through the years has been to support the RAF Benevolent Fund in a great way, because we cannot ever repay the debt that was owed to us by what these great people have done in the past and continue to do at present for us.
Horace Rugby Sevens.
News just coming into us in the studio this afternoon of a new Guinness World Record that has been created by none other than the Horace Sevens rugby team.
And the Maughan brothers.
Well, what a range of support from those teams. So what was it? A dinner and classic car display at Broomhall House, a Guinness World Record for the longest ever Rugby Union Sevens match from the Horace Rugby Sevens, and a cycle from Marble Arch to the Arc de Triomphe in 40 hours and 40 minutes by the Maughan brothers and team. The things you think of. Thank you all. This award is sponsored by our incredibly generous headline sponsors, Lockheed Martin. And to announce the winner, it's my pleasure to hand over to their Chief Executive, Air Marshal Peter Ruddock.
Well, thank you ever so much. Lockheed Martin has been the main sponsor for these awards for many years, and having
served in the Royal Air Force for 37 years, I'm delighted to be able to play our part by so doing. Now, when most people think of Lockheed Martin in the UK, they naturally think of the F-35 and the C-130J, but that's really just the tip of our contribution here. We're also responsible for all the mail sorting technology in the UK. And we're also charged with running the atomic weapons establishment. We provide all military flying training. We build turrets for armored vehicles. We help the MOD track almost 6 billion parts of equipment worldwide. And the prime mission system for Merlin helicopter is one of our responsibilities. We run the inert synthetic environment at RAF Odium. And for the future, we'll help build the first commercial spaceport in the UK. So we continue to spend billions with the UK supply chain and sustain more than 20,000 jobs. This goes on. So Lockheed Martin supports the work of the RAF Benevolent Fund because we recognize the critical importance of the excellent work you do to help so many individuals who gave so much to our country. About 15% of our employees are ex-service, so we've got a better understanding than most companies of the cost of that service and the value it brings. It's also humbling to listen to individual stories of those who have benefited from that help and support and the outstanding work being done by so many, including many on the call this evening, to raise the necessary funds and increase awareness. So my thanks to one and all. In that vein, it's now my pleasure to announce the fundraising team of the year. And the winner is Broom Hall 2019.
Hello, I just want to thank everybody involved for nominating us in the first place. It's a true honour to help raise funds for this wonderful RAF Benevolent Fund. Our history of the RAF in the United Kingdom is something we should all be hugely proud of, and I know I am. And I think it's just wonderful to be able to help such a fantastic charity. So thank you for the nomination, thank you for the award, and I'm very humbled by it, and to accept it on behalf of the whole team is my honour. So thank you very, very much.
Mark Ryan there of the Broom Hall 2019 team, and well done to the whole team for that fabulous event. Keep those tweets coming in, if you would please. Hashtag RAFBF Awards, all one word. Tweet and send us some of your pictures if you would. We'll show as many as we can between now and the end of the show. As Wogan used to say on Children in Need, I don't like it, it's going too well. Our next award highlights the support we receive from organisations big and small. Let's see what they got up to in 2019 to support the fund.
Here at the RAF Benevolent Fund, we're really grateful for the outstanding support we receive from organisations. Whether they are those that have a natural link to the Royal Air Force or those that can simply see the vast benefits of our work, they've all gone to great lengths to champion our charity. And the 3 shortlisted outfits really have hit incredible heights, between them raising almost £100,000 last year alone. Let's take a look at who's been flying high for us. Douglas Lang Distillers.
If we won the award, firstly, it would probably be totally inappropriate because of the amount of fun we have working with the RAF Benevolent Fund. Most assuredly, my father would look down from the clouds and the heavens with a smile on his face if we did.
The Blades Aerobatic Display Team.
It means an awful lot to us to be nominated for this award by the fund itself, our very, very valued partners, and we'd just like to thank everyone for the nomination.
The Spitfire Experience.
We started to put this together in 2012 and we had a grand opening on the 1st of April 2013. The aim right from the very beginning was to raise money for the RAF Benevolent Fund.
Brilliant work, although a reminder not to try Big Pete before stepping into a Spitfire or Extra 300. I have no idea what that means, but I'm told you do, which is the main thing. Now, between the three organisations, they raised over 70 grand in 2019, which is extraordinary. And now to let us know which organisation has won, it's my pleasure to hand over to the chairman of the RAF Benevolent Fund. It's Laurie Haynes.
Thank you very much, Alan. And if I may, just for a second, thank Lockheed Martin and Peter and all our sponsors for the wonderful support we've got from them and continue to get from them each year. The RAF Benevolent Fund is extremely grateful to be supported by so many organisations that generously donate their time, effort and money to help the RAF family. The shortlist for this year's outstanding support from an organisation shows the wide range of activities they undertake to achieve this, and I have to say the commitment they put in. So on behalf of my fellow trustees, I would like to thank each and every one of them for their wonderful support and the resources they put forward on behalf of the fund. And the winner is the Spitfire Experience.
Oh, well, there we are. The winners then, the Spitfire Experience, Brian Smith, nowhere to be seen at the moment, but we'll make sure that the award gets to him. We haven't made contact with him. We're going to move on, ladies and gentlemen. But we do congratulate them for their phenomenal support shown by the Spitfire Experience, worthy winners among what was a very strong shortlist. What we're going to do now, ladies and gentlemen, if we may, is we're going to pause for a moment to remind you what this support helps the fund to achieve. Just take a moment, if you would, to watch Luke Wigman's story.
There was this definite explosion and, you know, the realisation just kicked in that I just stepped on this IED. I just remember looking down at my leg and missing all the soft tissues and all of the blood. I had to sort my own first aid, patch myself up, give myself morphine, then just wait for the helicopter to land. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep my leg or not. I was in a cycle of going from operation to operation. I had multiple skin graft procedures which were horrendously painful. And at the end of this, that's when I received the news that I was being discharged, and I left quite shattered, realising that I didn't have a future anymore in the military, so it was a very difficult time for me. When you actually leave the military, it kind of feels like you've lost a family, and it's not easy to deal with. But actually, what I learned was when the Royal Air Force Benevolent Fund started helping me, it was kind of like having a big brother by your side that will look after you every step of the way. That will give you advice when you need it, that will give you financial support. You know, the whole package is, yeah, really kind of helped me and changed my life.
And the first thing I ever heard about Luke was watching him do a live TV interview telling his story. And I remember thinking there, kind of, wow, like what he's already achieved was pretty incredible.
Just the fact he's turned what could potentially have just ruined him completely, such a negative experience, into something so positive, I think is just credit to his character.
So there I was, my life was kind of back on track. You know, I'd done some incredible things over the years, fulfilled some lifelong dreams, been to the North Pole, Antarctica on multiple occasions. I'd ran the World Marathon Challenge, competed in the Invictus Games, I won 2 gold medals. So everything was going incredibly well. But then unfortunately, 2 years ago, I required 3 more operations. It was meant to be quite straightforward operations, but it didn't turn out that way.
He could have potentially lost his leg, which for someone who is as active as Luke is, and his main focus is running, it's getting out there for miles and miles a day. The thought of him not being able to do that would have just, I think, ruined him.
So there I was again, having to make this, you know, this recovery journey for the second time. It was mentally challenging, and that's where it was amazing for me to have the Royal Air Force Benevolent Fund step in again. They will support you through your life if you need it. They'll be there to help you. So whenever I'm training and I'm wearing the RAF Benevolent Fund vest, you know, I kind of feel incredibly proud that I'm doing something that's supporting the charity, and it's quite amazing because the Royal Air Force Benevolent Fund really is the heart of the RAF.
Well, there we are, another extraordinary story of resolve and how, with your support, the fund can positively impact lives. Don't forget you can donate to the fund by texting the word awards and then the amount you'd like to donate to 70460. 70460. We would be hugely grateful. Our next award is always a difficult one to judge, as so many supporters go that extra mile in their efforts for the fund. It was particularly hard in the fund's centenary year, and so this category has 5 nominees rather than the usual 3. Let's see who they are.
Every year, we witness the extraordinary lengths our supporters go to champion the fund. From spectacular fundraising dinners to epic challenge events and everything in between, 2019 saw it all. Helping to raise vital awareness of how we support the RAF family, as well as an incredible amount in donations, this award celebrates those who really went above and beyond in the fund's centenary year. Those shortlisted are Airlis Greenough, Phil Hallam, Flight Lieutenant Tom Mountney.
To give back and raise awareness, I decided to run the UK 3 Peaks Challenge. This involved climbing the UK's 3 highest peaks and running 2 marathons a day for 9 days.
Jacob Newson.
Me and you climbed Pen again last year to raise so much money for the Royal Air Force Benevolent Fund.
And Nikki Wright.
I was certainly shocked that we'd managed to raise so much money, but obviously I've continued to raise money for the RAF Benevolent Fund, and winning the award would be amazing.
Well, what remarkable stories of resolve and commitment, with some very personal stories behind everyone's efforts. To let us know who's been chosen as the winner this year, please welcome Deputy Commander Capability, Air Marshal Andrew Turner.
Well, thank you very much indeed, and it's really a genuine pleasure to be with you tonight. I mean, I've heard tonight some incredible stories of commitment and courage and compassion, of course, from the Benevolent Fund, but some amazing stories of dedication and energy around some really challenging circumstances that, you know, our people, our families, our veterans are facing every day. I'm extremely grateful to be able to be here tonight, I have to say, but I think the stories are genuinely humbling. If I might just briefly offer a note of gratitude also to our sponsors. There's a rich array here tonight. Many have been headlining the announcements, and you know, without being able to put on these shows in this way, with over 170 or so watching tonight, you know, we simply wouldn't be able to recognise this amazing talent in the way that it's been brought to life tonight. So thank you very much indeed for all that you've done for us over this last year. But mainly, and not least given the circumstances we find ourselves in this year, we have to pay an enormous debt of gratitude to the Royal Air Force Benevolent Fund. I mean, you've been with us through thick and thin, through the 1st of April 1919, 101 years later, and more, supporting us in every which way, in every operation, in every challenge, and every bit of strife that we've been through. And your strength is one of those foundational flagstones upon which the rest of the Royal Air Force, our families and the veterans community stand on, depend on, lean on, and trust. And so we're enormously grateful for you, your staff, and everything you've done over these last few years. But this award, you know, it is, as Alan's just said, you know, it's remarkable. Some personal acts of great motivation, dedication, all in the spirit of helping others. You know, it's a really selfless contribution, which we're enormously grateful here for all. But also we've got to find, unfortunately, a winner. And I have here the note for which I briefly opened a few moments ago, and I'm extremely glad, I think, to announce, notwithstanding those that can't win, but glad to announce that the winner tonight of this Above and Beyond award goes to Flight Lieutenant Tom Mountney and his 3 Peaks Challenge. Tom, yes, exactly right. Tom is not here tonight, unfortunately. He's deployed on operations, but I know Anna, his wife, will be extremely grateful for receiving this. But I think we can't underestimate the contribution he's made in generating nearly £17,000 of charitable donations and gains from his incredible feat going through these 3 peaks, 455 miles, 9 days and 11 hours and 45 minutes, 2 days quicker than the previous record for the same event. So it's a tremendous feat, and for which the Benevolent Fund will be enormously grateful. But I know it's largely in respect of the extreme generosity and gratitude that Anna and Tom received from the Benevolent Fund. So congratulations to all the runners-up, everybody who's taken part, who's been shortlisted tonight, but a special congratulations to Tom and to Anna. But thank you very much indeed for what you've done for us.
So no, Tom Mountney, the flight lieutenant, is operational, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching this back, brilliant work, Tom. And thank you, Air Marshal Turner, for joining us tonight. You might have noticed one of our youngest supporters in the Above and Beyond film, and I'm sure none of the other nominees will mind that we'll be sending Jacob a little thank you for his efforts in 2019. Don't forget to keep tweeting us at #RAFBF Awards. Those of you watching from an RAF station tonight, do let us know where you are. We need to know as we move on to the hotly contested RAF Station of the Year Award. Now, this is awarded for the support given to the fund by a station as a whole during 2019, for which the coveted Wilkinson Sword is presented. Again, judging this award was no mean feat, as the charity receives amazing support from a number of RAF stations. Here are the 3 that made the shortlist.
The Royal Air Force Station of the Year, the evening's most anticipated award. Year on year, the support we receive from Royal Air Force personnel based on stations across the nations is staggering. Whether it's a station fun run or a dining in night, we've been championed by all ranks all year round. Last year, as we celebrated our centenary, we saw an outpouring of support from so many Royal Air Force stations. Those nominees on the shortlist for this evening's award are Royal Air Force Odium.
Whilst of course this is not why people carry out their fundraising activities, it would be an acknowledgement of the significant time and effort invested in supporting this great charity.
Royal Air Force Cranwell.
It would be a tremendous honour and privilege to win one of the awards that RAF Cranwell is nominated for this year. It would be a genuine opportunity to say thanks to all the brilliant work done by the whole force here at Cranwell in raising awareness and money for such a worthy cause.
And Royal Air Force Wittering.
How important our RAF Benevolent Fund is to us, but it also turns the camera on them. It's a two-way relationship because they have been going out of their way to raise the profile and raise really important funding for the amazing work that the RAF Benevolent Fund do. So I think it would be incredible for my team to know that their hard work has been recognised.
Well, those 3 shortlisted stations supported with an array of activities, from mass sporting challenges through fundraising events to promoting the fund's centenary. They've all been outstanding. And to let us know which station has been crowned RAF Station of the Year, please welcome Mike Mew, National Sales and Business Development Director UK at MBDA Missile Systems, who've generously sponsored this award once again.
Okay, yeah, I hope you can hear me. I've been having some IT issues. MBDA really proud to sponsor the RAF Benevolent Awards. I hope to be with you again in person next year. The winner is RAF Odium.
Well, there we are. Indeed, RAF Odium are the winners. Hampshire, the home of the Chinooks. And we were hoping to talk to Group Captain Nicholas Knight. If you're there, Nicholas, dash in front of a camera right now. Otherwise, we move swiftly on. A fantastic demonstration, anyway, there of the support the RAF Benevolent Fund receives and the work that can be delivered as a result. Well, now to tell you more about this work, I'm delighted to hand over to Air Vice Marshal Chris Elliott, Controller of the RAF Benevolent Fund.
Thank you, Alan. We really appreciate the support, and your support as a host has just been fantastic, guiding us through the world of virtual events this evening, glitches and all, so thank you. And as you're aware, this evening's awards could not have taken place without the help and support of many people. And our sponsors have been mentioned tonight, and I would like to add the fund's thanks to all of them. Leonardo, MDA Missile Systems, Mid-Shires Power Chairs, Preludic Play and Sports Areas Limited, and the Military Mutual for their awards sponsorship. And a special thank you to our headline sponsor, Air Marshal Peter Ruddock and Lockheed Martin UK. Without their generous support, this evening would not have been possible, so thank you once again. To all of our shortlisted nominees this year and everyone already supporting the charity, another huge thank you. We could not do what we do without your generous donations, your time, your energy, your enthusiasm, ongoing engagement, and of course, your involvement in an array of events. Tonight, we've heard of some wonderful stories of the real passion and commitment the Fund supporters have for the Royal Air Force family. Whether they've climbed mountains, run marathons, organised dinners, or supported our beneficiaries on the ground, from the youngest supporter to the oldest, they have all given their all. Whilst we could not give each of you an award tonight, you have all made a difference and you're all winners to us. And for those of you who have not yet been involved in supporting the fund, please do consider what you could do to help us support the Royal Air Force family. 2019 was a fantastic year for the Royal Air Force Benevolent Fund as we celebrated 100 years of standing side by side with the Royal Air Force, and we launched our centenary campaign to find those veterans that had fallen off the radar. With your help, we reached out and supported approximately 70,000 members of the Royal Air Force family and spent over £28 million delivering financial, emotional and practical support across the Royal Air Force family. Whether through regular financial grants or listening and counselling service, we know how important it is to ensure that we are there for our veterans every step of the way. And of course, we're always hugely proud to support serving personnel on stations across the UK and beyond. From mental health support to larger projects such as all ranks social spaces, we are committed to helping personnel whenever and wherever possible. But we could not have done any of this without your engagement, support and encouragement from you all, and from all of us. Thank you. Whilst the awards we have presented this evening reflect the work carried out during the Fund's centenary year, I cannot avoid mentioning the challenges that the Fund has had to weather in 2020, and those challenges are some that you all are very familiar with. We've had to make some incredible tough choices, but have also shown that we can adapt quickly to new situations, introducing and adapting a range of welfare services to meet the needs of veterans, serving personnel and their families created by the pandemic. We anticipate further challenges in 2021, but with your support, we know we can continue to be there for the Royal Air Force family to ensure that no member faces adversity alone. But it's now my privilege to introduce our final award, which recognises a gentleman who, at 98 years young, has supported the Royal Air Force Benevolent Fund in so many ways, from fundraising at air shows to taking to the skies in a Spitfire last year. This year's Special Recognition Award goes to George Dunn.
By the time George Dunn, DFC, was 21 years old, he had completed his first tour with Bomber Command on Halifax's and had been awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross. Since then, George has enthusiastically raised tens of thousands of pounds on behalf of the RAF Benevolent Fund in the years since he retired. I first met George 7 years ago when I invited him and some other Bomber Command veterans to do some book signings in my gazebo at Eastbourne and Bournemouth air shows. He has subsequently joined me every year, engaging with the general public, signing books, patting dogs, bouncing babies with grades of plum on his knee. He has done so without complaint, through rain, hail or shine, but mainly through most of the former. He also keeps an eye on the donation bucket and has an uncanny knack of knowing how much is in there at the end of the day. What people may also not know about George is that he still makes his own marmalade at 98 and literally the best lemon drizzle cake I and my volunteers have ever tasted. It's been an absolute pleasure to get to know and spend time with this gracious, rather humbling gentleman since I made his acquaintance so many years ago now. I have truly loved learning all about his heroic missions, although he does not in any way describe them as such. I'm thrilled that George has been nominated and is being presented with this special recognition award this evening. I cannot think of anyone who deserves it more. Well done, darling George.
So let's hear from the man himself. Over to you, George.
I was very surprised to hear that I'd been nominated for this award, but consider it a great honour. I've been involved with fundraising for the Benevolent Fund for just over 10 years, along with many colleagues of mine in the Sussex area, sadly many of whom have now passed away. But although I'm getting on, I hope that I got a few more years left in me yet where I can continue to help raise funds for a very worthwhile fund. Thank you.
Fantastic. Our Special Recognition Award going there to George Dunn. What a way to finish our awards ceremony. Thank you, George, for everything you've done and continue to do for the fund. What a top man you are. Well, that concludes our ceremony for this evening, but thank you all for joining us, and please do take the opportunity to connect with your fellow guests and congratulate our winners. I'm sure you'll agree it's been a fantastic evening with some extraordinary stories of everything you've all done to support the fund. We've loved seeing your messages come through. Feel free to keep tweeting your support using the hashtag RAFBF Awards. If you're looking for a way to support the fund over the next few months, check out rafbf.org for details of events and activities that you can get involved in. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and good night.